How to do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about A Haunting in Venice, a new movie out in theaters right now. And in A Haunting in Venice, it deals with Hercule Poirot, who reluctantly attends a seance in Venice, and during that seance, a murder occurs, and he is forced out of retirement to solve this murder. Okay, so getting into first and foremost, what I liked about the movie, I think that Kenneth Branagh does a good job as Hercule Poirot. I think he is very good. He manages to come across as this kind of aged man who is very inquisitive and really likes to solve crimes. He really enjoys the puzzle element of crime solving. And I also like how this story is a little bit different from the other Poirot stories, because the other Poirot stories, they are complete, a human being did this, whereas with this movie, you're kind of left wondering if one of the ghosts that is supposed to inhabit this house, this mansion, did it. I'm not even kidding. Poirot, he's in a supposed haunted house. He doesn't believe in ghosts, and yet everyone's seen stuff, even Poirot's seen stuff that he cannot explain. And when it comes to the actual murder mystery element of the film, it's very strong. This is definitely something that I think Agatha Christie, if she were still around, would be proud of, how they pull off the murder mystery. Because it wasn't until like the last few minutes before I could actually figure out who was responsible. It took me quite a bit to figure out who the killer was. Sometimes I'm able to call it immediately. With this movie, it took me a while, and I liked that. And while I found this movie to be entertaining and stuff, I do have some issues with the film. First and foremost, I didn't like how the ending seemingly sets up for possibly more films. I honestly think that this would have been a good spot for Kenneth Branagh to end his Poirot trilogy, Poirot series. The way it ended, you get the image of, oh hey, there's going to be more cases and more movies. I honestly would have preferred it if it was the definitive final film. Doesn't mean that I won't watch the next one. I just would have liked it if they had ended it as the final film. I also thought that Michelle Yeoh was a little miscasted. I don't know, I just never really bought her as this medium. Some of her lines, it felt like she was overacting a little bit. If they had gotten Lin Shaye to play the medium, it would be a different story. But I also didn't like how the horror elements on the film were unfortunately heavily dependent on jump scares. I don't know why, but it was a bit heavy on the jump scares, a little too heavy on the jump scares. To be quite honest, I don't really care for jump scares. I think that they're cheap. Again, that's just me. In all, A Haunting in Venice, I enjoyed the film. I just had some issues with it. Murder mystery was engaging. The narrative was a little different. I like Poirot, I like Branagh as Poirot, and I was entertained with this film. I just simply had a few issues with it. I'm going to give A Haunting in Venice a 7. That's all the time I have for today. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember the Bretsky Order.